कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Welcome everyone for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we'll continue the discussion on the Daksha Yajna. The prayers offered by the Lord Vishnu appeared in the sacrificial arena of Daksha. Different people present in that assembly, they are offering prayers to Vishnu. Last week we saw the prayers offered by Daksha Prajapati, Shiva, Brahma, Bhrigu and the Ritviks. We'll continue the prayers. Indra Uvacha
Indra Uvacha
Idamapyachyuta Vishvabhavanam
Idamapyachyuta Vishwabhavanam
Vapuranandakaram Manodrusham
Vapuranandakaram Manodrusham
Suravidvit Shapanairudayudair
Suravidvit Shapanai Rudayudai
Bhujadandairupapannamastabhihi
Bhujadandai Rupapanna Ashtabhi. Translation. King Indra said, "My dear Lord, your transcendental form with 8 hands and weapons in each of them appears for the welfare of the entire universe, and it is very pleasing to the mind and eyes. In such a form, your Lordship is always prepared to punish the demons who are envious of your devotees."
So Indra is offering this prayer. So Indra says that he's talking about the form of the Lord. Idam api achyuta vishvabhavanam. Idam, this body of yours is endowed with Bhujadandair Ashtabhihi. Ashtabhihi Bhujadandair. It is endowed with 8 arms. Udayudaihi. It is having different weapons, carrying weapons. For what purpose? Sura Vidvit Kshapanaihi. To destroy the demons or to destroy the enemies of the Devatas. Sura Vidvit Kshapanaihi Udayudaihi. And this form is Vishwa Bhavanam. It's auspicious for the universe. This form is auspicious for the universe. And Manodrisham, it can be perceived even by our material senses and mind. Manodrisham, it can be perceived by our senses and mind. Anandakaram, this form gives us bliss. So Indra is speaking the shloka. हे अच्युत प्रभो, इदम अपि आपका यह भी रूप विश्व भावनम, जगत को प्रकाशित करने वाले हैं, जगत को प्रकाशित करने वाला है, जगत को मंगल देने वाला है। सुर विद्विट क्षपणैहि, देवद्रोहियों का विनाश करने वाला। उदायुधैहि, अनेक प्रकार के आयुधों से युक्त। अष्टभिः भुजदंडैहि, 8 भुजाओं वाला है, 8 भुजाओं वाला है ये रूप। उपपन्नम मनोदृशाम आनंदकरम, हमारा मन तथा नेत्रों को आनंद प्रदान करने वाला है। It is perceivable with our mind and senses, and it is giving us bliss. So Indra is saying that the 8-armed form for destroying the demons is seen by us today even with our material senses because of your indescribable mercy. And this form is giving us great bliss. So this is a proof that we are able to perceive the bliss in experiencing your form. This is the proof that there is no other way in which we can be blissful. Let us read Prabhupada's purport. So generally, many times Vishnu appears with 4 hands, but here Vishnu appeared with 8 hands. Even though we are accustomed to see your 4-armed Vishnu form, Indra is saying this appearance with 8 hands is as real as the 4-handed form. So Brahma told in the previous shloka that the Lord's form is actually beyond the power of the senses. To realize the form of the Lord is beyond the power of the senses. So in reply to the previous statement made by Brahma, Indra is saying that even though the transcendental form of the Lord cannot be perceived with the material senses, but right now we are able to perceive your form. We are able to perceive your form. And of course, he is acknowledging that it is only because of your mercy. So the Lord's uncommon features, activities can be perceived even by an ordinary man. This uncommon feature of the Lord, like Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill, should convince even the materialistic persons who want to speculate to the limit of their material senses. So the activities of the Lord are pleasing to experimental vision also. But impersonalists will not believe in his identity. So oftentimes people take the statements of the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam to be allegorical. They consider the statements of the Puranas to be mythological, and therefore they interpret in their own way. So, so everything about the Lord should be accepted as it is. And in this way, we can understand the Lord even in the present condition. So here Indra is acknowledging that the form with which you appeared, you appeared for the auspiciousness of the entire universe, and it is giving us bliss. We are able to perceive the bliss in seeing your form. And you appeared in this form with the 8 arms for the purpose of destroying the demons, the enemies of the Devatas. Next shloka is the prayer offered by the wives of Daksha. Patnya Vuchuhu Yajñoyam Tava Yajanayakena Srishto Vidvasta Pashupatinadya Dakshakopat Tam Nastvam Shavashayanabashantamedam.
तं नस्त्वं सवसयनाभशान्तमेधम्
यज्ञात्मन् नलिनरुचा दृशा पुनीः
यज्ञतमान्नलिनरुचादृशा पुनीः. Translation. The wives of the performers of the sacrifice said, "My dear Lord, this sacrifice was arranged under the instruction of Brahma. But unfortunately, Lord Shiva, being angry at Daksha, devastated the entire scene. And because of his anger, the animals meant for sacrifice are lying dead. Therefore, the preparations of the yajna have been lost. Now, by the glance of your lotus eyes, the sanctity of this sacrificial arena may be again invoked."
So here we see the wives of Daksha are saying that Ayam Yajnaha, this sacrifice. Kena, in Sanskrit, the word, just the letter Ka means Brahma. Kena means by Brahma. Kena Srishtaha, this sacrifice created by Brahma. For what purpose? Tava Yajanaya, for worshipping you. But this sacrifice, Vidvasta, has been destroyed. By whom? Pashupatina, by Lord Shiva. Today, Adya, Daksha Kopat, because of his anger at Daksha. And then she is addressing the Lord by the word Shayanaba. 1 minute. Oh, lotus naveled Lord. Shava Shayanaba. Shava Shayanaba. O lotus naveled Lord, Yagyatman, O Lord of sacrifice, Punihi, please purify. Please purify this sacrificial arena. That is the prayer she is offering. Purify the sacrificial arena. Nalina Rucha Drisha. Purify the sacrificial arena with your glance. What kind of glance? Nalina Rucha. With the glance of your lotus eyes. Purify the sacrificial arena with the glance of your lotus eyes. Because Tam Nastvam Shava Shayanab Shantamedam. Because here the sacrifice, the animal sacrifice has been stopped. Therefore, please purify this sacrificial arena. So, Shanta Medam means the place where the sacrifice had been stopped. Purify this arena. So, without your presence, nothing can be accomplished even with all the present efforts. So, the wives of Daksha. So, Prabhupada gives Prabhupada says that previously when the animals would be sacrificed, the animals would get a new life by the power of the chanting of the mantras. So now when the sacrificial arena was devastated by Shiva, some of the animals were killed. So therefore the dead bodies are lying here and there. So it has become a very inauspicious place where the dead bodies are there. It has turned into a crematorium. The sacrificial arena, which is supposed to be the most pure place, it has become a Shmashana Bhumi. Therefore, the wives of the priests, I think the wives of the priests are praying. Wives of the priests are praying that please actually glance over this yajna with your causeless mercy so that again the sacrifice can be started. So animals were not unnecessarily killed. The current time also there are for actually for checking a particular medicine, many animals are given trouble. One devotee was sharing. He came for one particular training or something. Very successful surgeon. He came, but then when he saw that in the training, the way the animals were tortured to experiment certain medicines, certain medical treatment, he couldn't take it, and then he left the training and came. So the animals should not be unnecessarily killed. So usually the people would chant the mantras, and then when the animals were sacrificed, animals would get a renewed life as a human body. So here the animals should not have been killed as they were. So now the wives of the Brahmanas are saying that please revive the sacrifice, purify the sacrifice, give life to the animals. And sacrificial arena is turned into a smashana bhumi. Therefore, purify this with your glands. So Krishna can purify anything with his glands. When we offer bhoga to the Lord, Krishna accepts that bhoga with his glands and he purifies that bhoga, and then now it becomes the prasada, and by eating that prasada we become purified. Next shloka. The sages present their offering. Rishaya vuchuhu.
Rishaya uchuhu.
Ananvitam te bhagavan vicheshtitam.
Ananvitam te bhagavan vicheshtitam.
Yadatmana charasihi karmanajyase.
Yadatmana charasihi karma najyase.
Vibhutaye yata upasedurishwarim.
Vibhutaye yata upase durishwarim.
Namanyate swayamanuvartatim bhavan.
Namanyate swayam anuvartatim bhavan. The sages prayed, Dear Lord, your activities are most wonderful, and although you do everything by your different potencies, you are not at all attached to such activities. You are not even attached to the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by the great demigods like Brahma, who pray to achieve her mercy.
So sages are praying. Ananvitam te bhagavan vicheshtitam. Ananvitam means impossible for others. So impossible for your activities are impossible for others. That means your activities are astounding. It cannot be performed by others. Your activities are impossible for others. Yad atmana charasihi karma najyase. You perform actions atmana by yourself. And karma na ajyase. You don't become contaminated by those actions. When you perform actions, you don't become contaminated by the actions. That means what? When others perform actions, they become contaminated by the action because they are attached to enjoying the results of the action. But the Lord does not become contaminated by the actions because he is not attached to the results of the action. Yad atmana charasi karma najyase. So vibhutaye yata upasedurishwarim. So other people, they worship Lakshmi Ishwarim refers to Lakshmi here. Other people, Upasedu. Upasedu, what is the word for translation? Worship. Other people worship Lakshmi for Vibhutaye, for wealth. But on the other hand, Namanyate Swayam Anuvartatim Bhavan. You don't accept Lakshmi for wealth. Swayam Anuvartatim Bhavan. So, just 1 second. Start. So here we see that the greatness of Krishna, although he performs actions, but he is never contaminated by the actions. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha itimam yobijanati karmabir nasabadyate. Namam karmani limpanti. The Lord is never contaminated by any actions. And Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha. Krishna says that I never desire to enjoy the results of the action. Itimam yobi janati, one who knows the transcendental nature of my actions, karmabir nasabadyate, such a person is also not bound by karmas. So that is why we say janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjana. One who understands the transcendental nature of Krishna's birth and activities, such a person does not take birth again. So, in this world, everybody worships Lakshmi Devi in order to gain some wealth. Vibhutaye yata upasedu rishwarim. But in the case of Krishna, Krishna is not accepting Lakshmi Devi for some wealth. So there is a beautiful shloka in the first canto. Mother Earth, in experiencing the pain of separation from Krishna, Mother Earth is speaking a shloka with the feelings of separation from Krishna. Brahmadayo bahutitam yadapanga moksha kamastapas samacharan bhagavat prapanna sa shri svavasamaravindavanam vihaya yat pada saubagamalam bhajate nurakta tasyagamabja kulishankushaketu ketai Srimat Padair Bhagavata Samalankritangi Trinatya Rocha Upalabhya Tato Vibhutim Lokan Samam Vyasrijadutsmayatim Tadante Brahmadayo Bahutitam Yad Apanga Moksha. Lakshmi Devi's glance is sought by devatas like Brahma. And for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead. The devatas, they perform great effort to get the favor of Lakshmi Devi. But that Lakshmi Devi, Sa Shri Svavasam Aravindavanam Vihaya, she gave up her own abode. Which abode? The forest of lotus flowers. And by giving up her own abode, Yat pada saubagam alam bhajatenu rakta. She engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. Yat pada saubagam alam bhajatenu rakta. So Mother Earth is saying that the devatas in this world, they are waiting to obtain the favor of Lakshmi Devi. But that Lakshmi Devi gives up her own abode and she engages herself in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. And that Krishna was present in the earth. And I was decorated with the marks of the lotus feet of Krishna. Tasyaham abja kulishankusha ketu ketai, flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, lotus flower, etc. I was endowed with the marks of the lotus feet of Krishna. So I felt very fortunate. The devatas, they seek the favor of Lakshmi, but Lakshmi Devi is seeking the favor of Krishna. And that Krishna's association, I had that Krishna's association. And I was feeling so fortunate to have Krishna's association. When I felt so fortunate, suddenly the Lord disappeared from me. So therefore, I am actually in great distress. I am feeling separation from Krishna. So this is another shloka, that how people worship Lakshmi Devi's favor, worship Lakshmi for getting her favor, for getting wealth. But Lakshmi Devi is engaged in the service of Krishna. Another shloka, the third canto. Shri Rupini Kwanayati Charanaravindam Leelam Bhujena Harisadmani Mukta Dosha Samlakshyate Spatika Kudya Upeta Hemni Sammarjativa Yadanugrahenya Yatnaha. So the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, they are as beautiful. They are so beautiful. The ladies in Vaikuntha are as beautiful as the goddess of fortune. And these ladies, these Lakshmis, they hold the broom in their hand. And they are engaged in sweeping the marble floors in Vaikuntha, which are bedecked at intervals with the golden borders. So they are engaged in brooming that Vaikuntha in order to receive the glance of the Supreme Lord. Although there is no dust in Vaikuntha, but they are engaged in brooming in order to get the favor of Krishna. In that way, this shloka also says that Vibhutaye yata upasedur Ishwarim. People in this world, they worship Lakshmi for wealth, but na manyate swayam anuvartatim bhavan. But you do not accept Lakshmi for wealth. You do not accept Lakshmi for wealth which others seek. And the first two lines talk about how Krishna never gets contaminated by his actions. So Prabhupada in the purport he quotes Namam Karmani Limpanti from the Bhagavad Gita. The distinction concerning the exalted transcendental position of the Lord is specifically mentioned by the great sages. He is not like the ordinary living entity who is attached to the results of pious activities. Next shloka. Siddha Vuchuhu.
Siddha Uchu
Ayam Tvatkata Mrishta Piyushanadhyam
Ayam Tvatkatha Mrishta Piyushanadyam
Mano Varana Kleshadavagni Dagdha
Mano Varana Kleshadavagni Dagdaha
Trisharto Vagadho Nasasmaradavam
Trisharto Vagado Nasasmaradavam
Nanishkramati Brahma Sampanna Vannaha.
Na nishkramati Brahma Sampannavanaha. Translation. The Siddhas prayed, like an elephant that has suffered in a forest fire, but can forget all its troubles by entering a river. Our minds, O Lord, always merge in the nectarian river of your transcendental pastimes, and they desire never to leave such transcendental bliss, which is as good as the pleasure of merging in the Absolute.
So here we see Siddha Vuchuhu. The Siddhas prayed. The Acharya say that Siddha here refers to pure devotees. The Prema Bhaktas prayed. What they are praying? That they are saying that our minds, Manaha. So this world is in this world, there is a forest fire, Davagni. So Varana refers to the elephant. When an elephant is getting burnt in a forest fire, Varana Klesha Davagni Dagdaha. The elephant is getting burnt from a forest fire. And that elephant is Trishartha, it is afflicted by thirst. So these devotees are saying that our minds are like that elephant. Our minds are like that elephant, which is burnt by the forest fire and which is afflicted by the thirst. But when our minds, Tvat Kata Mrishta Piyusha Nadyam, when our minds become absorbed in Tvat Kata, which is a pure river of your pastimes, when our minds become absorbed in the sweet, pure river of your pastimes, Tvat Kata Mrishta Piyusha Nadyam, then Na Sasmara, we do not remember. We do not remember the davam, we do not remember the fire of samsara. We do not remember the fire of samsara. And then na nishkramati, and we do not come out of that water. Na nishkramati. We do not want to come out of that Krishna. We do not want to come out of that nectarian river of Krishna Katha. Na nishkramati. And then they give an analogy. Brahma sampannavat naha. As if having merged in Brahman. As if, that means like it is not, hearing Krishna Katha is not merging into Brahman, but as if having merged into Brahman. So the pure devotees are saying that how, like, this is a very relevant shloka. Because all of our minds in this world, our minds get consumed by different anxieties. Different anxieties. All these anxieties are like the forest fire. Our mind is like an elephant. The elephant is getting burnt from the forest fire, and the elephant is also having the different thirst because of getting burnt with the forest fire. We are very thirsty. But then when the mind becomes absorbed in Tvat Kata Mrishta Piyusha Nadyam, then we can rise above this burning of the forest fire. We do not remember the samsara. Na sasmara davam. Very important, beautiful shloka. So the mind immersed in the river of pure nectar of your pastimes does not remember the fire of samsara. The mind does not come out of that river as if having attained oneness with Brahman. Let us submerge ourselves in the nectar of the Lord's pastimes. without considering what duties we should do and what duties we should not do, with contamination or without contamination. So Prahlad Maharaj offers a prayer. Naivodvije paraduratyaya vaitaranyas Tvad virya gayana mahamrita magna chitta shoche tato vimuka chetasa indriyartha maya sukaya baramudvakato vimudan. Prahlad Maharaj is saying that I am not at all afraid of the material existence, because wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in the thoughts of your glories and activities. Tvad virya gayana mahamrita magna chitta. And shoche tato vimukha chetasa indriyartha. I am only concerned about the fools and rascals who make elaborate plans for the material happiness. And for that sake, they are living their life in this world. I am only concerned about them. But I am not at all afraid of the material existence, because I am fully absorbed in the thoughts of your glorious activities. Even Parikshit Maharaj, if you remember in the beginning of the 10th canto, there's a beautiful shloka. Naishati dussakha kshunmam tyaktobdam abhibadate pibantam tvanmukam bojam chutam harikatamrutam. Parikshit Maharaj told Shukdev Goswami, because of my vow on the verge of death, I have given up even drinking water. And because I am drinking the topics of Krishna, which is flowing from the lotus mouth of your Lordship, I don't experience hunger and thirst. Normally, like, hunger and thirst are extremely difficult to bear. Naishati dussakha kshunmam. Hunger and thirst are very powerful emotions. They are very difficult to bear. But because I am hearing the nectar of Krishna Katha, I am not at all affected by hunger and thirst. Of course, this is a very to not get affected by hunger and thirst because of hearing Krishna Katha. This is a very high level of advancement. Oftentimes, we easily get affected by hunger and thirst. Without filling our belly, becomes difficult to hear Krishna Katha with focused attention. But in the stage of Ruchi and Asakti, a person does not get affected by hunger and thirst because of getting absorbed in Krishna Katha, because of getting a superior taste in Krishna Katha. So let us see Prabhupada's purport. So the statement Prabhupada says it is from the inhabitants of Siddhaloka who have the Vishwanath Chakotaku says that here Siddha refers to the Premi Bhaktas. Prabhupada says inhabitants of Siddhaloka. So the inhabitants of Siddhaloka, they have 8 kinds of mystic perfection. But it appears from their statement that they are pure devotees. Prabhupada is also mentioning that. Because this statement appears, it shows that they are pure devotees. And then he is also quoting there is a statement by Prahlad Maharaj, I already quoted that shloka, Naivo Dvije Paradarotye Vaitaranyas. Suddhas say that the mind of an ordinary person is full of anxieties. So the elephant who has suffered in a forest fire who enters into a river for relief. Similarly, the persons who are suffering in the forest fire of this material existence will only enter into the nectarian river of the description of the pastimes of the Lord. They will forget all the troubles of the miserable material existence. Shuddhaya Shantaya Namasva Nishtaya Manasyapartham Vilasadvayaya. Prachetas are praying that when the mind is absorbed in Krishna, then the dualities of the world becomes meaningless. One transcends the dualities. So The Siddhas do not care for the fruitive activities, such as performing sacrifices and achieving the good results. They simply merge in the transcendental discussions of the pastimes of the Lord. That makes them completely happy. So, in the higher advanced stage of pure devotional service, Premi Bhaktas, they go beyond the stage of performing any pious and impious activities. They are just absorbed in Krishna Katha. This is the prayer offered by the Siddhas, the pure devotees. Next shloka. So next shloka is next is the prayer offered by Prasuti, the wife of Daksha. Yajaman Yuvacha. Swagatam te prasidesha tubhyam namaha.
Yajamanuvacha Swagatam te prasideshu tubhyam namaha
Srinivasa Shriya Kantaya Trahinaha.
Srinivasa Shriya Kantaya Trahinaha
Tvamrute Disha Nangairmakashobhate.
Vamrite Disha Nanger Makashobhate
Shirshahina Kabando Yata Purushaha.
Sirshahina Kabando Yatha Purushaha. Translation. The wife of Daksha prayed as follows: My dear Lord, it is very fortunate that you have appeared in this arena of sacrifice. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, and I request that you be pleased on this occasion. The sacrificial arena is not beautiful without you, just as a body is not beautiful without the head.
So, Yajamani, Yajamani, the wife of Daksha, she is praying that Trahi Naha, Trahi, please deliver us. Please deliver us. And Prasid, be pleased with us. Swagatam te, welcome to you. Welcome to you. Prasid, please be pleased with us. Tubhyam Namaha, I offer my obeisances. Srinivasa, O Lord of Lakshmi. O Lord of Lakshmi. And Shriya Kantaya Trahinaha. Shriya Kantaya means with your beloved consent, please deliver us. Trahinaha. Tvam Rite. Rite means without. Without you, Tvam Rite. Makaha, this sacrifice, na shobhate, it is not auspicious. Without your presence, without your presence, although the sacrifice is endowed with all the elements, but it is not auspicious without your presence. Nangair makashobhate. She gives an analogy. Shirshahina. It is like a headless body. Shirshahina kabando yata purushaha. Kabando, possessed of only body. Without your presence, this sacrifice is like a body without a head. So there's a famous shloka. The shloka is it quoted here? Yeah, it is quoted in the purport. Bhagavat Bhakti Heenasya Jati Shastra Japastapaha Apranasyaiva Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. So without the Bhagavad Bhakti, one's high birth, one's knowledge of the Shastra, the chanting of the mantras, performing tapasya, but without the Bhagavad Bhakti, it is like a apranasyaiva dehasya. It is like the body without the life. Mandanam loka ranjanam. It is like a decoration of a dead body. So the Bhagavad Bhakti is the one which gives life to the all the different ritualistic activities. It gives life to the tapasya. It gives life to the shastric knowledge. This is a very important shloka actually. How the, because there are many people who are, they work very hard for studying different say Vyakarana Shastra or Nyaya Shastra, different subjects, many Vedic subjects. But most of the time they are not aware of the purpose of the sacrificial study, shastric study. They simply get absorbed in just performing, they get absorbed in only say knowing the different grammatical rules, the different rules of logic. They don't go beyond that. But without the Bhagavad Bhakti, so all this pious activity, shastric study, it is like a decoration of a dead body. So let me see the Vishnu Chakotyas purport. So Prasuti is speaking the shloka. You have been very merciful to me, the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. Just like you are merciful to Devahuti, you have been merciful to me. Since you have brought your wife Lakshmi to my house, please deliver us who have been destroyed by the offense to Shiva. Trahina, please deliver us. So Prasuti is conscious that, oh, we committed an offense to Lord Shiva, please deliver us. And without you, the sacrifice is not complete. So, one class, Radhanath Swami Maharaj was quoting the shloka, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japastapaha. And he said that Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, he mentioned how the without the enthusiasm to render devotional service, all the other pious activities, without the enthusiasm to render service to Krishna, even the Shastric study, it is like a decoration on a dead body. And then Maharaj narrated the story of that old Orissa lady who came to take darshan of Jagannath. And in her enthusiasm to take darshan of Jagannath, she climbed on the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One leg was on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and one leg was on Garuda Stambha. And when Govinda noticed, Govinda immediately brought that lady down. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to the surprise of Govinda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Govinda. You are acting like an Adivasi, uncivilized person. This old lady has so much of enthusiasm to take darshan of Jagannath. I wish that I may get a fraction of such enthusiasm like this lady. That means that enthusiasm for devotional service, that is the real life actually. Without that, even the shastric knowledge or performing tapasya or chanting of the mantras, etc., they are like a decoration of a dead body. So Prabhupada says that Yajnartat karmanon lokoyam karma bandhanaha. All activities should be performed for as a sacrifice to Vishnu. So without your presence, the sacrificial ceremony is useless. It's like a body without the head. So even the material civilization, this verse talks about even the Vedic pious activities without the enthusiasm, without the Bhagavad Bhakti, that is like a body without life. And what to speak of a material civilization? Even the material civilization, which is so advanced, it is like a body without the head. that sort of decoration of the dead body has no actual value because the life force is already gone. Similarly, without Krishna consciousness, any aristocracy, any social prestige, or any advancement of material civilization is as good as the decoration of a dead body. So Prasuti is the sister of Devahuti, and Devahuti's son is Kapiladev. So Prasuti is like an aunt of Lord Vishnu for the incarnation of Kapiladev. So she was asking the favor of Lord Vishnu in an affectionate mood. I am your aunt, so therefore please show some favor. So and also here she is praising the Lord along with Lakshmi Devi. Srinivasa Shriya Kantaya. She is praising the Lord along with Lakshmi Devi. Therefore, when Vishnu is worshipped, naturally the Lakshmi Devi's favor is also attained. So Lord Vishnu is addressed as Amrita, transcendental. The demigods were produced after the creation, but Lord Vishnu existed before the creation. Therefore, he is addressed as Amrita here. So Prasuti, the wife of Daksha, implored the Lord to turn the priests into Vaishnavas instead of simply fruity workers performing sacrifices for some material benefit. This is also another Prabhupada is saying that Prasuti is saying that without your presence, this sacrificial arena does not shine. It is like a head without a body. But another implied prayer of Prasuti is that the priests in the sacrifice, they are simply only on the level of karma kanda. So please make them your devotees. Please make them Vaishnavas. Instead of simply remaining in the platform of the fruity workers. This is also another prayer. So one more shloka, with that we will end. Lokapala Vuchuhu.
लोकपाला ऊचुः
दृष्ट किं नो दृग्भिरसद्ग्रहैस्त्वम्
दृष्ट किं नो दृग्भिरसद्ग्रहैस्त्वं त्वं
प्रत्यग्द्रष्टा दृश्यते येन विश्वम्
प्रत्यग्दृष्टा दृश्यते येन विश्वम्
माया ह्येषा भवदीया हि भूमन्
माया हि एष भवदीया हि भूमन्
यस्त्वं षष्ठ पञ्चभिर्भासि भूतैः
यस्त्वं षष्ठ पञ्चभिर्भासि भूतैः. Translation. 1 minute, I will just give the translation. The governors of various planets spoke as follows. Dear Lord, we believe only in our direct perception, and therefore we see you as a creation of the material world. But under the circumstances, we do not know whether we have actually seen you with our material senses. By our material senses, we can simply perceive the cosmic manifestation, but you are beyond the 5 elements, you are the 6th.
So the Lokapalas are praying here. Lokapalas are praying. They are saying that you are the internal seer, and by whom the universe is seen. Drishyate yena vishvam. Pratyak drishta. You, the internal seer, because Krishna is there as a Paramatma, and he is watching over all our desires and thoughts. Krishna is the internal seer. And Drishyate Yena Vishwam, by whom the universe is seen. And currently, and who can be directly seen, are not visible to us by material senses. Drishta Kimno Drigbir Asadgrahaistvam. Asadgrahaistvam. Krishna cannot be visible by our material senses. Maya Hyesha Bhavadiya Hi Bhuman Yastvam Shashta Panchabir Basi Bhute. That you appear to be made of the 5 elements is only your Maya. So, Krishna's body appears to be made of the Pancha Mahabhuta. That is because of illusion. So, they are saying that we cannot see you by senses which perceive material sense objects, Asad Grahe. But Pratyak Drashta, but you can be seen by your mercy. And yes, Tvam Shashtaha, you are beyond the Pancha Mahabhutas, you are the 6th element. But Panchabir Basi Bhutai, you seem to have a material body by means of the 5 material elements. You seem to have a material body by means of the 5 elements. And that is because of your Maya. Maya hi yesha. Those people who think that your body is material, demons like Jarasandha and others who think that your body is material, they do not see you. They don't realize your sweetness. In this way, the Lokapalas are praying. Just go through Prabhupada's purport. So the governors of the various planets are certainly materially opulent and are very puffed up. Such persons are unable to understand the transcendental eternal form of the Lord. The Brahma Samhita says that only persons of the Premanjana, whose eyes are anointed with the love of God, can see the Supreme Lord in every step. So Queen Kunti also says that Namo Akinchana Vittaya Nivritta Gunavrittaye Atma Ramaya Shantaya Kaivalya Pataye Namaha. So Krishna can be understood only by the Akinchana Gochara. Those who are not materially puffed up, only such people can actually realize Krishna. Other people get bewildered. So Prabhupada says that the Lokapalas, because they are somewhat proud, they are unable to ascertain that they have seen the form of the Lord. They are unable to perceive, understand the transcendental nature of the form of the Lord. So he is comparing, because Lokapalas are proud, so therefore they were not able to ascertain the form of the Lord. Namo Akinchana Janmaishwarya Shrutashribir Yedamana Madapuman Naivarhat Yabidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. Those who are proud of their high birth, knowledge, education, and beauty, such people cannot feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord. Krishna is called as Akinchan Namo Akinchana Vittaya Nivritta Gunavrate. He is the property of the impoverished, materially impoverished. Materially impoverished does not mean that one has to be literally poor. It means Akinchana means those who accept in their heart. They can be rich, they can be very billionaires also, but they accept in their heart that Krishna is the proprietor of my wealth. The wealth and property does not belong to me. Those who truly assimilate this, those who truly accept this fact in their heart, such people are the Akinchana. That means they are not proud of their position or wealth. Whether it is wealth or somebody can be knowledgeable or born in a high family. But those who are not proud of their position, such people can only perceive the Lord. In this way, the Lokapalas have offered this prayer. Further, we will continue to see the prayers. The prayers go till verse number 46, I guess. 47. Hopefully, let us see. Maybe we'll try to complete the prayers the next week. If anybody has any questions, they can share. Shyam Mukund Prabhu has quoted two shlokas. Hasam Harer Avanata Kilaloka Tivra Shroka Shrusagara Vishoshana Matyudar. How we're meditating on the eyebrows of the Lord or the smile of the Lord, the ocean of the tears that gets dried up. Thank you, bro. Another shloka. Yatra Bhagavata Rajan Sadavo Vishadashaya Bhagavad Gunanukatana Shravana Vyagra Chetasa. This is a shloka spoken by Narada to Prachina Parishad, 4th canto, 29th chapter, where Narada Muni is telling Prachina Parishad to go to the place and where there is a nectarian river of Krishna Katha is flowing, and in that when a person gets immersed in the nectarian river of Krishna Katha, one goes above the hunger, thirst, fear, lamentation, and illusion. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing the shlokas.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I would like to ask one question, some doubt. Can I?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, you said in the one of the purports, you said that without enthusiasm, it is like a dead body. But sometimes we experience that the body or the mind or the circumstance don't help us to be so enthusiastic at all times. So how do we maintain the enthusiasm throughout?
Very practical question, very sincere, genuine question. I also face the same problem. Body gets definitely tired in different times. So in the stage of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, unsteady devotional service, it is natural that we go through these phases. Utsah, in the Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, the symptoms are given by Vishwanath Chakravarti in the Madhurya Kadambini. Utsahamayi, Ganatharala. These are the different symptoms. Sometimes a person feels enthusiastic, sometimes a person feels unenthusiastic. Like the different symptoms are there. So we do go through these symptoms, but till we obtain that natural spontaneous enthusiasm, even if we don't feel enthusiastic, we should act enthusiastically. We should act enthusiastically. Like sometimes a vehicle is not starting. So when it is not starting, then we come out of the car and then we try to push the car. And when you try to keep pushing the car, then after some time, the car starts. So similarly, sometimes we don't feel enthusiastic. So then we have to act enthusiastically. That is like pushing the car. And then in due course, we will also feel enthusiastic. So essentially, we have to rise above the platform of simply acting based on our feelings. Oh, today I feel like doing, therefore I do. Today I don't feel like, therefore I don't do it. So one has to go beyond the feelings and one has to sharpen the spiritual intelligence. Sharpening the spiritual intelligence it helps us to not to get affected by the feelings of boredom, feelings of unenthusiasm. And then in due course of time, Krishna will provide that natural taste also. So till the stage of Nishtha, it is like a climbing uphill on the mountain. Where till the stage of Nishtha, you are going through the path of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. But after a person has attained the Nishtha, then it is like a going downhill. It is easier. So it is expected that sometimes we don't feel enthusiastic. But one thing can be association with people who have that enthusiasm. Another solution is act enthusiastically even if you don't feel enthusiasm. Third is sharpen the spiritual intelligence so that you don't get affected by the feelings of boredom. Hare Krishna. Does it answer your question?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other points anybody wants to share? Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you very much for your patient attention. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.